Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. This episode might get a little spicy. I don't know. I was getting a little riled up when I was creating the notes for the podcast episode. It could be because I was drinking pre-workout, so maybe I shouldn't do that while creating notes and thinking about what I'm going to talk about and exactly what I want to say. But it's too late. Here we are. So, a little pre-warning, this might get a little spicy. We're going to definitely have some real talk. I'm going to share my real honest thoughts. And then I'm, of course, going to share, some notes and takeaways and some practical things, advice. But let me tell you the topic first, which you already know because you read the title of the episode. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about how to stop falling off track on the weekends, how to stop thinking that you have fallen off track on the weekends. Basically, I'm just going to be talking about the struggle of falling off track on the weekends. This is such a common thing. I recently asked in my Facebook group, which if you're not in my Facebook group, go to Facebook, type in Team Christy, and you will see my name on the cover photo and join the group. But I asked in there kind of what, ladies are struggling with and what topics I could talk about as far as posts or podcasts and, just to kind of see what you guys are struggling with. And so I can create content that definitely helps. I also obviously am always hearing what my clients are struggling with, but I just like to get a pulse on that sometimes. And one of the things that was mentioned was that, we falling off track on the weekends, and that I have gotten so many messages about that in years past. I had 2 new client calls this week, and both of them mentioned, oh, by the way, I'm really good during the week, but I always fall off track on the weekends. Like, it's so common for me to hear that. And so perhaps the reason I was getting a little fired up when I was writing notes for this episode is because I hear that so much. And for me, I don't want to say that it's so simple, but for me, it was like this huge mindset shift. And that's what I'm going to get into, of like, stop thinking that you're falling off track on the weekends. Stop thinking that you need to be on track all the time, and then you won't think that you're falling off track on the weekend. So it hits different to me, when you're asking the question, and trust me, I don't say that to be a smartass because I was there. So when I first started the notes for this episode, I always start with like, how did I feel when I was in that place? Because I've been in pretty much every place that you've been in, everything you've struggled with as far as your health and fitness, I have struggled with it too. And so I try to get myself back to that time of when, in this episode, of when I felt like I was falling off track on the weekends. And why was that? So I can really get myself in your shoes. But then I want to coach you. Honestly, in this episode, I'm going to coach you basically as if you were my client or you were a friend of mine. You were someone that I could really just shoot it straight with, I guess. And you told me, this is what I wish someone would have told me if I hired a coach, or if it's just a good friend of mine that was really fit and I really admired the way that they lived in their body and, their relationship with food. If I were to have gone to someone and said, I just keep falling off track every single weekend, I don't know how to stop doing this. I wish I had an episode like this. I wish someone would just, shoot it to me straight and really sat me down and told me the things that I'm going to tell you in this episode, because I was there. I actually wouldn't even say the weekends. I wouldn't even make it to a weekend. I have a lot of clients that are like, I'm good all week. I can eat clean all week. I can track good all week. I'm quote unquote good all week, right? That might be your thought process as well. And then I fall off track on the weekends. Well, for me, it was like, no, I was good on Monday, Tuesday, maybe half of Wednesday. By Wednesday night, I was like, give me some flippin' Oreos. Like, for God's sake, I'm starving. So it wasn't even the weekends for me. It was like Wednesday afternoon through Sunday. And then it was like, well, I'll just start again Monday. And then I would do good Monday. I'd do good Tuesday. I was friggin' savagely hungry and wanted Oreos by Wednesday. And I'd screw it all up. You know, I'm like, well, now I ate Oreos on Wednesday. So there's no point of being good the rest of the week, which is insane. And so I'll just start over Monday. So for me, it wasn't even the weekend. So God, if you can do quote unquote good all week and only overeat on the weekends, I would like to give you a high five because you are already a few steps ahead of me. But no, seriously, most of the time, if you're falling off track on the weekends, it's obviously because you are trying to be perfect. And you're being perfect maybe all week because you're like, well, I can try to be perfect on the week, during the weekdays. And then on the weekends, I can let myself loose a little. And then maybe you let yourself loose and you were so restricted and held tight to your diet or whatever, you're doing, that on the weekends, once you let yourself have some Oreos, in my case, I was having all the Oreos. And then I already had Oreos, so I might as well have some ice cream. I might as well have some pizza. I might as well have cereal. I might as well not work out because what's the point after I ate all that? So I have been right where you are, if that is you. And what I wish I would have had someone tell me is the things that I'm going to tell you and explain. And I wish I would have known then too that I don't have to be perfect ever with my nutrition. I wish I knew that because then I wouldn't try to be perfect. I wish I knew that I could have my dream body. I wish I knew that I could be healthy. I wish I knew that I shouldn't follow the people that I was following on social media. I shouldn't have been a part of the groups that I was a part of because I was hearing these things that were honestly complete bullshit. And they were usually told to me by, or I see a post from someone who wasn't qualified to be giving that position. And quite honestly, I wouldn't want to eat how they ate anyway. And I wouldn't want to look like how they looked like. And I don't want to work out how they work out. Because usually the people that are saying that are people that, one, are not qualified. Like I said, they work out 7 days a week. They're all about steps and movement and clean eating and all of the things. And that is not at all what I wanted to do. That's not the kind of person that I wanted to be like. So why was I taking advice from them? So a lot of times the verbiage that I will hear is, I have no control on the weekends. I'm on point during the week and then fall off track on the weekends, which, what is the track anyway that we're falling off of? I'm not exactly sure. I can't get a hold on my nutrition. I can't stick to my nutrition goals on the weekend. And then a lot of the time it's thinking it's the weekend, so I deserve to have a little fun, right? Or I've already ate, insert whatever food it is for you. For me, it's Oreos. I already ate Oreos, so might as well keep going and eat all the things like I mentioned a little bit ago. And so those are a lot of the things that I hear quite often. And I just want to make note that all of those things, if you've maybe said all of those things, right? That this is all mindset. So to say that I'm on point during the week with my nutrition, like my nutrition's on point during the week, what does that mean? Define on point. It probably means you're eating clean, or you're sticking to your meal plan, or you're sticking to your meal prepping, or, whatever you have planned for yourself that week. But is what you have planned for yourself to do that week, is the thing that you are on point with, is that even going to get you to your goals? Is it even realistic? So that's something that you need to do a mindset shift with. Check and see, like, what are you trying to be on point for? Is that helpful? Is that realistic? Probably not if you're falling off point on the weekends. If you can't get a hold on your nutrition, or you can't stick to your nutrition goals, then you may need to change them. Because honestly, you counting macros and, not restricting your foods and eating a little bit of basically whatever you want is the way to fuel your body properly, is the way to fix your hormones, your metabolism. It's the way to, gain muscle when you're lifting weights. So if you can't get a hold on your nutrition and you can't stick to your nutrition goals, I'll be honest with you, it's because they're too restrictive and they don't need to be. And so that's all mindset too. It's like why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you thinking that you have to be so restrictive? Thinking that it's the weekend, or that I've already ate Oreos, so I might as well keep going. having no self-control, that's all mindset. If you would allow yourself to have snacks during the week, then you wouldn't have to go out of control and off track on the weekends. So all of that stuff is mindset. And that's you saying, I can't get a hold on my nutrition. I can't stick to my nutrition goals. I'm on point and then I'm off track. Like, listen to what you're saying. Think about why you're saying it, and also change that. Tell yourself, no, I can be on point on the weekends if that's what you want to do. Tell yourself, I can get a hold on my nutrition. I can figure out what's going to work for me. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean I have to go balls to the wall and eat all of the things in front of my face, or just because I've already had Oreos that are literally calories, even if you had a whole sleeve, which I don't know, that's a lot of calories, but still it's only calories, right? Go for a walk, go work out. Don't eat that many tomorrow. Like it's not a big deal. So all of that is mindset, and really, like, why are you thinking that those things are true in the first place? So, and like I said, this can be relation to not only weekends. Obviously, that's what I hear a lot is I'm going off track on the weekends. But this can also be if you were like me, where you just can't stick to a program at all. Maybe you wake up every single morning and you're like, I'm gonna have a great day. I'm gonna stick to my nutrition today. And then by noon, you're like, F it, I can't do this. Right? This can apply to all of that. So I'll be honest, when I hear those things, there's a few ways that I can go about this podcast, but I'm going to kind of start with the real talk, because when I hear someone say, I'm falling off track every single weekend, I can't get a hold on my nutrition, what is wrong with me? Literally right now, like, I've heard this so much and I'm so over the diet culture bullshit. My first thought is, and I actually told this to a client of mine on Messenger DMs the other day, I'm like, who even said you had to be on track on the weekends? Like, why is that? Where did that term even come from? Like, it's so common to say, I fall off track on the weekends. It seems like it's now just something common to say, right? Kind of like, don't miss a Monday for your workouts. Okay, excuse me. I actually take every Monday as a rest day, pretty much. So, why is that a thing? And who said you have to be on track on the weekends? Why do you think you should even be perfect daily? Like I was saying, what does on point even mean? Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, what is the reason you're even trying to stay on track on the weekends, if that's what we're really talking about here? Who said you have to be on track? What service, what purpose is that serving? The truth is, you can get healthy and you can have your dream body while eating snacks. And that includes the weekends. You can actually go a little crazy on the weekends. I'm here to tell you, I do it every weekend. You can go a little crazy and let loose and have a little fun and eat things you maybe shouldn't, and maybe even have 2 glasses of wine, right? Like, you don't have to be on track on the weekends. Who even said you have to do that? Again, you are being so misled. We are being so misled by people on the internet that, as I said, are usually not qualified to be giving this advice. And they're making you think you have to be perfect. And if you're not, then you failed. I have to say that most of the people that I follow on, I'd say Instagram, because that's where I spend most of my time, like, quote unquote, working. Most of the personal trainers that I would hire that believe what I believe, that have coached enough people the right way to know what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what matters, they will all tell you, and their messaging all includes, you should have snacks. You should not restrict food. You should have a very healthy relationship with food. The only people that I hear saying you should be clean eating and you should measure every single morsel of your food and you should work out 7 days a week and you shouldn't take rest days and you can sleep when you're dead and grind. Those people, I don't want to give a percentage, but most of the time do not even have a personal training certification to be able to tell you things that are factual. They have not worked with enough people with the right passion, with the right goal in mind, to actually want to help someone be healthier mentally and physically. They've not done that enough times to know what works. And they probably don't have a very healthy relationship with food themselves. Again, that goes back to what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of body do you want to have? When I started looking at people that are like CrossFitters, that are power lifters, that are weight lifters, people that have a very healthy relationship with food. They enjoy their workouts. They enjoy going to the gym. It's fun for them. They have a good mindset around food and around friendships and around eating out and alcohol and workouts. And when they have a really good, healthy relationship with food and workouts, I was like, that's the kind of body that I actually want. Like, kind of like the one I have now. And that's the relationship with food that I want to have. Those people all have that in common. They have a healthy relationship with food and they have the body that they want. They look good. They look healthy. They don't look restricted. They don't look overly, overweight, and they don't look overly underweight. They look good. They look healthy. And that's what you should be striving to look like. Is you should be striving to look good, but you should also be striving to look healthy and feel comfortable around food. So make sure that you are getting this information. When you really ask yourself, like, literally, Christy, who did tell you that you have to be on the weekend or be on track on the weekends? Where did I get that knowledge from? If you can't answer it, cool. If you can and say on this, person's Instagram that I follow, they're always talking about don't fall off track on the weekends, stay on track on the weekends. Like, unfollow that person, unsubscribe from that shit, because it is not good for you. So before I go into a couple things that you can do if you want to fix this, or a couple tangible tools, I want you to really, really think about your relationship with literally just that. Who is telling you these things? Why are you thinking you have to eat clean? Why are you thinking you have to eat whole, organic, natural foods 100% of the time, and that you can't ever say yes to anything because it's not going to get you to your goals? Why are you thinking you have to be so perfect? Hopefully you can notice that. Hopefully you have someone you can go to help you get out of that mindset, because it will never serve you. And then we can move on to the ways to go about this if you do want to fix it and you do want to get more serious about it. There are a couple ways that I also do, want you to look at this. So this is going to be to the people that are actually tracking your food. Otherwise, I don't really want to hear you complain if you're off track on the weekends, because you literally don't even know if you're on track or off track on the weekends. I have had my clients track their food all week, I would say like weekdays, and on the weekends. We go through and add it up and average it out and all the things, and they're literally still under eating overall for the week. And so they will often think, I'm on track during the week, I'm off track on the weekends, I'm such a bad person, Christy, help me. When we add it up and I physically show them what they've eaten, how many grams of fats, carbs, protein, how many calories, they're still under eating for the week. And they are shocked, because they've gone years thinking that, a couple crappy food choices on the weekends are blowing their results. Like, it's just like, well, I've just completely blown it. What's the point? When in reality, it wasn't like that at all. So it's like self-sabotage, thinking, oh, I already overate this and this, and I already messed up on Saturday and went crazy, so I might as well blow the whole weekend. And they hadn't even blown a day. So they just blew the whole weekend, and they didn't need to. So unless you are tracking your food, unless you are aware of what you're eating, how much, and if that's even should be a goal for you, then this doesn't even apply to you, because that's where you need to start. That's where you need to start at. If you aren't tracking, you literally don't know if you're overeating on the weekend. So that's the first step. How you can do that and how you can kind of make it mentally feel okay is to know your daily calorie goal. You take that goal and you multiply it by 7, because 7 days in a week, to get your week total. So you'll take your daily calorie goal, you'll multiply that by 7 to get your weekly calorie goal. Then you will divide that again, because you know your daily calorie goal. So take that number, figure out if you can undereat a little bit on your weekdays and by how much, so that you can overeat or go over a little on your calories, not even a little, just go over your calories on the weekends without guilt. So if you know how much you're supposed to be eating daily and weekly, you can divide that out and undereat a little bit Monday through Friday if you want to, and then overeat a little bit Saturday and Sunday, or undereat a little bit Monday through Thursday, overeat Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As long as it's within your calorie window, it doesn't matter. And then you can do that without guilt. the basis of this is, so we have a daily calorie goal, right? But your body doesn't know that it's, midnight to midnight. Your body has no idea what day it is. So the average matters most. If you take those days and you multiply by 7, like I said, to get like your entire week, what you ate for that entire week, that's what matters the most. And then if you divide that out, of course, and see what you ate daily, that matters too. But you can undereat a few days and then you can overeat a few days because your body has no idea that like, oh, we ate too much yesterday, so tomorrow, we can't eat as much. Like your body doesn't know that. Your body just sees it as calories coming in, and exercise and movement is calories going out. That's all your body knows. So you can, if you do not want to stick to the plan and say like, okay, consistently I do go over my calorie goal on the weekends, Christy. It is what it is. And I can't seem to stop it. Then plan for it. You don't have to stop it. Go a little over on the weekends. Of course you go out with friends. Of course you want to eat a little differently and relax, maybe not even move as much. So plan to do that. Like work with it. If you can't change it, if it's been 10 years and you've been falling off track every flippin' weekend, then plan to just fall off track every weekend. It doesn't matter. But if you want to, plan a little bit to go under on your weekdays, and that will help you feel less guilty about it. Another way is to just stick to your calorie goal. Just do it. If you are a person that's like, no, I want to stick to my calorie goal every single day. If my calorie goal is 1,800 calories every day, that's what I'm going to stick to, and I'm going to feel like a failure if I don't do it. Well, then the only thing I can tell you to do is do it. You're the only one that can do it, and there's no secret to getting it done. If you're not doing it, that's your fault. There's no way to like really get around it. So if that is what you want to do, is stick to that, and like you're that person that's just, whatever you want to say, I'm so type A and I just can't see the number, going over, then I feel like a failure. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, I do think you need to change that, but if you're not willing to do that right now, then treat your calories like money. Budget it out, and once it's gone for the day, it's gone, and stick to it. And if you get mad, you've got to get mad at yourself because that's what you said you were going to stick to. If you're not willing to see if a different way works for you, then kind of like stick to it, I guess. I know that's a little tough love, but how bad do you want it? Yes, that's going to disrupt your fun. When it comes to Saturday night, your friends are like, hey, let's go out. And you're like, I already ate my 1,800 calories for today, and I said I was really going to stick to this, and it'll make me feel proud tomorrow when I wake up if I do stick to it. So I'm going to stay home and miss out on fun. It is going to disrupt your fun. But if that's what's going to make you feel accomplished, then that's how you do that. Don't suggest it. I suggest you find a way to, figure out how to live life and have the body that you want. But if you're not that kind of person, then the only advice I have for you is to just stick to it. On the contrary of that, my next tip would be to loosen up. What are your goals? When it really comes down to it, do you want to be ripped out, or do you just want to see progress right now? Chances are you're just a normal human being who wants to see some physical progress, feel good in your cute outfits, feel good when you look in the mirror, feel proud of yourself. And so you can do that while having fun on the weekends. And newsflash, you should do that while having fun on the weekends, because that will make you feel loosened. It'll make you feel not as restricted. It'll make you feel like you're living life and making progress. So when you really look at your goals, if you don't want to be ripped out, and you don't want to be super shredded, you don't want to have like 10% body fat, if you don't want to do a bodybuilding competition and be walking around getting literally judged by judges for your body, then I suggest you loosen up your goals and have a little fun, because life is way too short to be counting every single thing and to be thinking that you always failed when you don't even have to. You don't even have to think like that. It's not even necessary. So I will also tell you this, going over your calories on occasion and going quote unquote off track on the weekends, that's not how you got to where you are physically. If you are even sitting at like 50 pounds overweight right now, it's not because you occasionally went over on your calories and you fell off track on the weekends a few times. Yes, that adds up after a few years. And that's the thing. The years of it, that's where that came from. But being aware and tracking and trying to be better are bigger steps in the right direction than trying to be perfect. So I know a lot of people just think like, oh, I had Oreos, or, oh, I had cookies, or, oh my gosh, I had a piece of cake at the baby shower that I went to this weekend. Okay, that one piece of cake at the baby shower this weekend is not how you got to where you are now. That is not the one thing that is going to keep you from losing weight this week. It's literally a piece of cake at a baby shower. It's like, sometimes I feel like my clients will come to me and think that this is the one thing why they're not making any progress, because they're going off track, a couple weekends, or, oh my God, I just went over my calories today, and it's like they think it's the end of the world. And I get it, because that's how we were trained to think, but it's just not. When you think about it, it's years and years of maybe under eating, maybe overeating, definitely mistreating your body, definitely not having a well-maintained metabolism, definitely just not treating your body well. That is what got you to where you are now. But going over occasionally on calories, or being under on calories a little bit, or going off track a couple weekends, a month, that's not how you got to where you are physically. So those are kind of like the details that you should not be focusing until you have everything else on track. So overall, my goal for you, I guess, is to think about everything that I said. Go back and listen to this episode again, because there's a lot in here. It's mindset. Reassess your goals. Think about why you think the weekends matter so much, why you think you have to be on track all of the time, why you're trying to be perfect. Literally think about, what is your goal for what you're doing? What do you really want to look like? What do you want to feel like? What do you want your life to feel like as far as your health and fitness is concerned? And then think about whether or not your weekends are really that bad, or if you're just being told by someone who's probably unqualified that you should eat clean every day, and then you're thinking that you're failed, or that you have failed. Chances are you're just being really, really hard on yourself, and you're surrounding yourself maybe with people on social media that are telling you things that are getting in your head and making you think you are doing things wrong. Maybe you just aren't specific enough on your goals. Maybe you're just used to hearing, oh, I'm going off track on the weekends, and so that's something that you're commonly saying. But chances are, again, if you just look at your goals, if you look at what you want to feel like at the end of the day, if you look at what would make you feel like you've accomplished that, and just maybe plan to go over a little bit on the weekends and under a little bit on the weekdays, I think that will do a lot for your mentality. And once you let yourself loosen up, even though you can be specific about what you want, you can be specific about letting yourself loosen up, right? Like, you can be very specific about the goals that you want for your body, and you can also let yourself loosen up to get there. That's really, really huge. And it may sound counterintuitive, but loosening up and being less restrictive is the only way you're going to feel like you're making progress in your mental journey or your physical journey. Because if you're always feeling like you have to be perfect, you're always going to fail, because there is no such thing. And that's okay, because who wants to be perfect anyway? It sounds stressful, and I really enjoy Oreos, and I don't plan on giving them up anytime soon. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the real talk. I hope you enjoyed the tips. I hope you can change your mindset about it a little bit, loosen up on the weekends, have some fun. I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.